Hello and welcome back. So, somebody asked me just a couple of minutes ago about whether or not they thought my YouTube career was sort of like going okay. It was on this channel, so don't need to worry about that. It was about I made a community post a couple of hours ago about that there was a sort of like an announcement I wanted to make of some description, and well, here it is, I suppose. So this is what it is. So what's the date now? The 17th of April. Okay, so long story short, I may have mentioned that back in late February, I went on a 3-day course with an organization called the Prince's Trust. The object of the Prince's Trust is to start people wanting to get into small businesses. And well, basically, that's what I want to do. I want to take all the stuff I do on YouTube and make it my 9 to 5. I'll make it my 9 till 9 if I wanted to, because as far as I'm concerned, you may have heard the old adage of you get out of life what you put into it. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to put all of it into it and see if anything comes out the other end. That's sort of what I've decided I want to do. And well, it's one of those things where there's a couple of things I need to ask myself, but also just wanted to share with you guys, because I think honesty is the best policy in all this, and the more honest I am and open with myself, the easier it'll be for maybe to communicate my thoughts and stuff like that. So, without further ado, is it entirely the wrong thing to suggest whether or not I should actually start monetizing my content? Now, you may be saying to yourself that there's pros and cons to this. Some of the reasons why I shouldn't is because people will immediately look at me and suddenly say, well, all of a sudden, just because you want to make a business out of it, which means that you just want to do this to make money. So people think that the only reason I'm bothering talking about lol cows at all is just to make a quick buck on the backs of their notoriety and infamy. Well, there's no doubt there's going to be quite a lot of people to say that, because, like I said before, none of my stuff on YouTube, well, on this channel specifically, is monetized, because I thought this would be a somewhat of a clash of interests if I did that, as you might suggest. It's also for the same reason why I wanted to start over a little bit and actually do things that are more professionally produced, things that have a little bit more, that reflect more of my editing skills, and do more things that were, like, even if they would take a week to come out, I'll be more than happy to do that, because at least something of slightly more standing quality, as I'm going to call it, will be coming out in the long run. That's more or less sort of the ideas I had going into this. And, well, like I said before, people will still say that I'm only doing this to make a quick buck. What I'll say in response to that, and this is my only real gambit in response to it, is the fact that, well, I'm sacrificing my free time, and sacrificing an enormous amount of my free time on top of that to produce, make, edit all of these videos. And should the case come where I make things of much better quality than what I'm doing right now, is there not an argument to be saying that absolutely he should be paid for putting out all this hard work? I mean, it's the age-old question. I would not go to my job if I was not going to get paid from it. Being paid is, you know what I mean? It's this thing you expect whenever you do your work. And if I'm going to make what I do on YouTube my work, then is it what? Why shouldn't I get paid from it? I know, again, it's the old adage from the Bible about laborers deserve their wages, and that I've always stood by that, but I'm wondering if people will still stand by me for putting this out there. I'm just, again, putting this out there because I think it's absolutely within my interests to share this with you guys, because you sort of need, I sort of want people to understand where I'm coming from whether or not I'm doing the right thing because I've got to look after myself and I've got to build a future for myself and safeguard the idea of a future, or any kind of like continuing this endeavor here on YouTube. Because, and this is the thing you're gonna have to, this is the part of the video where I throw a massive curveball into the equation. And it's not the fact that I've disclosed that I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now. No, 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 no. It's the disclosure that the plan I'm going to put before the Prince's Trust on my fateful meeting on the 29th of April is that it's not one channel I've got working for me, it's several. By the time when I get to do my pitch for the Prince's Trust, it will be something closer to 100 YouTube channels. 100 YouTube channels run by me, organized by me, moderated by me, and making money from all of them. That's the plan. And I did several initial predictions for a lot of these channels, and several initial predictions about what would happen if I, let's say, turn the monetization on for all of these. Because there's a strong argument to be made about, well, I've got to demonstrate to the Prince's Trust that these things can be made money from. In fact, if you go onto on the government's website, on the UK's government website, to even come into the realms of actually opening or starting a small business, even as a sole trader, you've got to make at least £1,000. And I often considered that this is going to be like the first real big challenge that I've been given the task of, can I make £1,000 out of basically nothing? Which, in theory, it shouldn't really be like that difficult, because, well, if it isn't, for broadcasting, I mean, I've been writing since I was about 6 years old, and I've written stories that I wanted to share for my for one of my YouTube channels, and I've written stories that I want to be made published, and there's loads of different things that I'm literally not even mentioning right now that I want to put out there in the real world. That's like the scale of ambition we're sort of talking here, and this is why, again, I just feel like maybe it would be sort of within the interests of myself to demonstrate to the Prince's Trust that I can, one, be accounted on to actually produce something that actually showcases my talents, but also the fact about what it means about the way that I handle things and the way that I carry off in certain ways. Because there are loads of people who make money from YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, who may not be the best or worst, broadcasters, but what they're good at is making money by generating buzz, if you know what I mean. And it made me kind of wonder just a little bit is the fact that if I can once again demonstrate myself as the Spanish would call buen chico, if I can demonstrate and present myself as buen chico to you guys, it will make the idea of presenting myself as buen chico to the Prince's Trust a little bit more closer to the truth, I guess you could say. That I'm going into this by laying all my cards on the table, by not hiding anything, and just being as open and honest as I can, and about ultimately, well, what I want. And it's not even a selfish thing to say, ladies and gentlemen, about just straight up being open and honest about what you want. And what do I want? I want to actually run my own little media circus. To actually maybe not to the same level of like Rupert Murdoch or stuff like that, but I want to run my own network, my hundreds of series of channels. Like whatculture.com is their studio is literally right outside it's right outside it's in Gateshead. It's like I can literally get there in less than 20 minutes. And bear in mind, I've written to Watch Culture before and stuff like that about wanting a job from them, and, well, I've had no response yet, so they say no news is good news, but no, this just means because they're not interested in getting back. So that's that's the goal, is to literally have, like, I don't know, a studio right next to What Culture. Hell, I'll have maybe even have a studio on my side, on the proper side of the Tyne. Maybe that's what I'll do. Or even, hell, why even go as far as this as town in Newcastle? Why not actually have it in my home village? Why not have it that way? So that's sort of basically the where I think this video will sort of come to an end, by proposing the question and by presenting you guys with just a sample of the sort of ideas that I have and sort of what my goals are going to be. I don't necessarily know if the trust is going to be like they're going to play ball with this, because if I'm going to make this like an actual 9 to 5 job, then I'll need an actual location. I can't just do all my videos in my room for the rest of my life. I need to actually have some kind of like actual studio space, and then like there's a lot more to this, and I'll probably cover this like in a later video where I'm maybe describing my actual pitch, but that's just about it. So thank you guys for listening, and hopefully this all goes off without a hitch. So thank you, and I will see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye bye for now.